Greetings. In this picture, before we explain this subject here I've marked it as A here, but it might go in number D on the written work. Okay, here, before we go into this subject here, you've got openings. It's not showing exactly how they're attached in the shuttle, but in other drawings it does. But here, for example, follow the other drawings. Okay, you can actually release air going in any place of these. Okay, you want for navigation, going that way or this way or whatever way you want to go. It can also be put underneath. There's a picture diagram somewhere in my drawings concerning how this works with oxygen, okay? Just like it works down here, okay? In blast off, you can work all the way here and you can have it down this way in navigation, right around the shuttle. Okay, continuing this subject, this will be explained in more soon. Okay, you can have wire attached dead center from engine to go straight up to correct engine, which is very hard to do here because it can get tangled very easy unless it's done pinpoint accurately with mathematics and calculations and all that type of stuff in engineering that they turn without getting tangled, okay? Which can bring disaster instantly if they're not done correctly, okay? B becomes a better method. You can have a little so-on advanced wires that is attached in place and just outside engine, so it's just outside the engines here, somewhere here, okay, where the engines are. There's inside hollow center that for top upside down, from top upside down, okay, from top upside down you can have the wires going in here and you can have a plug-in in there. So I'll explain what I'm talking about here. There's many ways of doing it. You can have wires attached like this, which is a prehistorical way, and can get tangled very easy unless it's done professionally and in a way in engineering that doesn't. Or you can have where the engines are, you can have plug-ins, like power points in place of the engine here, and attach the cord straight up here. So that way that will turn, like around in the same spot, attached to the shell, okay, or the engine, depending upon which one of these cords is used for which engines. In the second illustration, you can have them attached to the cord just where the engine is, just around this area somewhere, where you won't interfere in the turn, okay, or you can have it remote control without wiring, future technology, without any wiring whatsoever is where we've got to aim at. If you haven't got that already, it shows you here. You can also have them, the cords attached in the engine rather than outside. Therefore, when the engine turns with the machine, the cords are not interfering and getting tangled. Okay, so you need to use future methods of that wiring. It must work with none. Okay. You can use remote control best attached to the computer, or just remote control in computer advanced, what's that word? Computer advanced control, or whatever that word says, computer control, or with remote control, whatever control you can get. You can have another on Earth's base. Okay, that's illustration A. Illustration B, I have to read this, don't know what to read here. This here is explaining how the bearings are in two different places. They're also, in the previous illustration, in one of them, where I showed you about the floor part, I forgot to mention, where there's bearings at the bottom and side. If you remember that illustration, they have to be around here as well, where the floor is, the inward layer. It explains it here, see? Around this area, although they're out, because so you can see them. Usually they'll be jointed. Not jointed, sorry, leaning on the side of this here that way, okay, right around, so you can have that rotation. So the shell will rotate one way and the propeller the other, okay, and then the floor standing still kind of thing, okay, which I forgot to mention that part there. Okay, so that's all there is to here, I think. Okay, here if you read this, they might give you some more information. These are smaller as possible dead center bolt attached to child light strong. Okay, dead center bolt. Okay, it pretty much explains this. If you read this, you pause this if you need more time to read it. Now where we are up to over here. And over here. Okay, and take a shot there. And a shot here. So you might be able to read all of it by pausing it here, maybe, perhaps. Okay, in joint C. Okay, as you can see, you have a shuttle like this. It's got a propeller built in there, and another one underneath. Okay, B shell. Okay, okay. In one following previous example, you can have another main propeller outside spaceships from shells attached to the second shell, B. Okay. So then, for argument's sake, in relation to what I said before about the gliders, you can build them as gliders, coming out of a major shuttle that travels in space and they travel in oxygen type of places, or somewhere where a glider can be flying into the other type of air. So then you can actually make them mechanically. Okay, in the other example, where like the propeller is more like a dragonfly, kind of moving, kind of like that sort of thing. You get that feeling. Okay. X, where the X's are propellers all around shuttle at the bottom floor. Okay, so that's the bottom floor. It's not on the top. Okay, it's right at the. This is supposed to be a circle right around inside. Okay, funny looking circle, but anyway. Follow first a page, which we just said for where correction or each one have corrected to a separate engine next, or whatever that word says. I don't know if you can read it. Hang on. Or under it, so on. God used with good use with remote control, as mentioned before. This way, wires are in engine, or learn to make engines not needing wiring. A compulsion to get to that stage, if you haven't already, where you can use remote control without any wiring, or in the engines. For example, if this was an engine, it's supposed to be a shuttle, but suppose that's an engine, and the shuttle is outside. Since that's turning with the shuttle, if the wires are inside, it's not going to get tangled somewhere inside if you can place them. Okay, it's the best way of doing it at this present time. And I know if you probably got that type of technology, I don't know any further. But anyway, here is D. So then I am asking every inventor to work with us for better technology, in the sense of taking this to another way into the future technology. You will see in this book that those involved in the mission will be responsible in working with, by, through, in Jesus Christ. And it will cost so much money to fix everything up there. It is not funny, in the sense that no one can afford it. In order to have the world, what is the price for us to save your life, in order for the world to know what is the price, in order for people to be saved. In this book, it explains ways to where are we up to? Hang on, where are we at? Ways to even cause the resurrection. So I'm asking you all to work with us for free. Arrangements will be made by the authorities that when and only if they can afford to, and you like this will pay you. They will pay you, okay, for your work. This means it may take many generations for it to be success, and before they got the money. So when they can, your family in the future will be paid, or you will be rewarded, or both, at its success on the resurrection. But I have a better way. And I might not have enough tape here. Working with through Jesus Christ, the only way. Have everything free. I mean everything for survival, for work, so on. That with a system of no money in the world, but a system under Jesus Christ of love, sharing, helpfulness, and so on, helping people and all that. Now you can afford it. A world of free, in other words, everything free, working for free and getting everything for free. Everything will be rewarded whether they work for this invention or another, or a job to support themselves, family, others, and everybody in togetherness, unity, family, and earth, so on. But it must be under Jesus Christ. No kind of branding with chips, so on. No. Okay? So as what I'm saying is a world of everything free. Work for free, get paid for free. Days with no money. Working in love as a family, one unity. Now we can afford it. I speak in my writings more concerning this way of life, but it has to be under Jesus Christ. He is the founder of this. Satan has robbed me from that and is trying to enforce it with 666. Okay, it must not be under that. It must be under Jesus Christ. No branding, nothing like that. It must be continually preaching the gospel until everybody's converted to Christianity. Amen.